So we wake up in the morning every day and we are on autopilot. Our unconscious mind, whatever, system one, as Sam Harris calls it. There's so many things I don't understand about the mind that I'm learning. So bear with me as I tread through these, this tall grass of shit that I don't understand, but I'm trying to understand and trying to explain at the same time. We are on autopilot mode, though, based on the habits that we build. We are taught to brush our teeth in the morning because our shit stinks in the morning and we have to kill the germs and blah blah, all the shit. What else do? We make coffee. Whatever you do, you may. Everyone is different. Everyone builds a habit differently, but ultimately you're consciously mindful of that without, you're probably not even thinking about this, but what you're doing is you're consciously being aware of it. I need to do this because of this and that. And you're telling your unconscious mind, programming yourself into doing this specific thing, this task, whatever it is you want to do. And then you're constantly reminding yourself, oh, I got to do that thing. So now you have to keep doing it until you build that habit, until it becomes a custom, and then you're not even thinking about it anymore. These are how habits are formed, and it's weird. I'm still learning about that. So bear with me again. It's my own little lab experiment. For those that don't know me on my Instagram, I have my philosophy that I say that we are our own lab experiment. So I'm still fucking around with all these things to understand more about what I'm doing in my life daily. But with mindfulness, wake up and we do all these things without mindfully thinking about these things. So you make your cup of coffee in any way you prefer, through a drip machine or through the French press, which I prefer now. I just recently started to adapt it, so it tastes better. And there's other reasons, supposedly based on science, why it's better to do it this way versus the drip machine. But you can look that up yourself. I'm not gonna get into the details of that. What was I saying? Oh, so you do things on autopilot, right? And you don't think about things as you don't think about all these things that you could think about, because it's so much time that you put into thinking about all these things, and you don't want to think too much, and you don't want to go crazy, and then you just want to go ahead and just do the thing and live your life, right? But every now and then, I think it's, I'm reading this book, and this is why I'm thinking about all this shit. It's called Awareness, and it is, there's a part of this book, Getting Concrete, that I wanted to, it's backwards, Getting Concrete, that I wanted to share. So in this book, he talks about how we look at things as concepts and we don't look at it in a deeper way. I'm going to read a little bit about it. Every time I have a concept, it is something that I could apply to a number of individuals. We're not talking about a concrete particular name like Mary or John, which doesn't have a conceptual meaning. A concept applies to any number of individuals, countless individuals. Concepts are universal. For instance, the word leaf could be could be applied to every single leaf on a tree. The same word applies to all those individual leaves. Okay, there's more to it than that. If you want to pick up this book, I heard about this book from Tim Ferriss. I don't listen to that podcast anymore, but when I did listen to it, he recommended this book called Awareness. And because awareness is close to mindfulness, I said, sure, I'll pick it up. I've been preaching about awareness, so let me read it. And it's hard to read this book. I'm gonna bring that up real fast. It's hard to read this book if you are so stuck on your ideologies, your beliefs. So this book is meant to help you open your mind a little bit more and put everything to the side. So it's hard to do that because you are so programmed, like, oh, what is this talking about? So this is hard to read if you are really, really you have a concrete focus on your beliefs. So if you solidified it and have it in stone, it's going to be hard to read that book. But if you are open-minded and you are able to read this, it's good practice too, to open your mind, actually. For those of you that believe in any kind of religion or whatever, read this book. It actually opens your mind a little bit more. And even though my mind is open already, because I'm agnostic or whatever, I still had trouble reading this book because of what it was saying. It's just a couple things that I was reading that didn't make sense, and then eventually I got to be aware of it and understood it. I got it. Makes sense. Now I'm just reading through it. So with that being said, I got to that part where he's talking about getting concrete, and I often do this. I look at things and I just live my life. I conceptualize things automatically and I don't even think about it. I get the cup of coffee and I know to get it, and I know to put my body, or my unconscious mind knows to get all these things, get everything that I need to make this fucking coffee. I knew I was just learning to make this, so I was being more mindful about it, whatever. So whatever. And then eventually my brain is going to be programmed into doing it automatically without thinking about it. So what I'm trying to point out is that every now and then it's okay to look at these things and take away the concept of what it is. What is this? It's a cup. It's a cup, right? It's a black cup. Made by what? Made by who? Who made this? You know, you look at the handle, you look at all these things, you're like, holy shit, like, you just think about it for a second. It doesn't, you're being playful with it, being curious, pretend that you're, you're a child again, every now and then. It's good to do this because we take, this is obviously, you're not going to want to do this every day. Like, what is this coffee? You don't want to do that, but you take away from this principle and you apply it to everything else in life. What else do you look at as an object and conceptualize it? Like a tree. Oh, it's a tree. Oh, whatever. But when you look at the deeper part, the purpose of a tree, the tree it's there for it's life. It's crazy. When you look at, you understand what trees do and how they give us air. I mean, how they clean the air and all that shit, and how they give us. When you're next to a tree, you feel, this feels good. Is there something about it that makes there's science behind it, of course, but I don't know too much about it, so I'm not gonna fuck that shit up. But anyway, the whole point is you look at things in a deeper way, and it helps you have more fucking appreciation for these things, for life itself, instead of coffee, drink coffee good, me go work and me do things every day, sleep, whatever, coffee, drink it. You're repeating yourself every fucking day, not being mindfully aware of these things because you're so programmed to do these things on autopilot that you start to not care about shit. You don't give a fuck about what these items are. You don't care about this cup anymore. I love this cup. This is my favorite cup, and I identify this cup as my favorite cup because of the wide rim. Some people prefer, the shorter rim cups or whatever, because I just learned about this supposedly that this keeps it warm or keeps it hot, versus this where it gets cold fast. So it's kind of interesting. So this makes me think, oh shit, so if I like this more, it's because I'm drinking my coffee faster, versus this where my coffee's gonna, I don't know the science behind that. I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But my point is that we should be looking at things and taking away the concepts every now and then so that we can look at it as a deeper understanding of why it's there and why it exists. It helps us be more mindful, and I'm trying to have a better appreciation for my life and things around me, my kids, my wife, my family, my loved ones, people that value me, people that I value, things that I do every day, blah, 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 you name it. So, yeah, whatever way you take from this, I hope that you're able to apply it to your lab, your little life lab. Every day we are living in our own labs, and we're going through these experiments without being aware of it, and we're learning from this shit. So I hope whatever you take from this video, you're able to change the pace a little bit, and hopefully things work out for you to value your life and value your time. Peace.